Hello. Okay, so I think it was either my last video or the video before that I told you guys that I plan to just come on here and film whenever the mood strikes, even if it's not like the best timing. So whatever YouTube video I said that I think I just came out of the shower, it's like my hair was wet, I wasn't cute, whatever. That still stands today. So fun fact about me, I've had chronic migraines for really as long as I can remember. I definitely know that I had them as an early teenager, 12, like whatever. I can't remember if I had them before that or not, but like I have consistently suffered with chronic migraines. And I've never in my life had one like I have right now. And it's been, as of today, it's been at least 2.5 weeks. And I only know that because what I can't remember is if it started Thursday or Friday. I just know that the week that it started, I woke up on Saturday and we had plans with a friend and their 6-year-old daughter. And the whole purpose was to hang out with them before she went back to school. And this was the only Saturday that all of us were able to do that. And so even though I woke up and I factually had a migraine that day, I was like, there's no way that we can cancel because she would be heartbroken. So we went. And so because I know what date that is, that's how I know for a fact that this migraine has been 2.5 weeks. But that was a Saturday. And as I said, I can't remember if it started the day before that or 2 days before that. So it doesn't actually matter. Point is, I'm on a 2.5 week migraine at this point. I do not currently have a primary care physician because I've moved, and so I've been waiting 4 months to get into a primary care physician in my new area. Thankfully, I get to have my first, like, you're now a patient here appointment in a couple of days. So in the meantime, I have been to urgent care for this migraine twice, and it has done nothing, and I don't blame them. Like, that's not their fault. They can only do what they can do. The first time I went, they told me that they could give me a steroid shot to try and help the pain because what they would normally give me would interact with some of my other medications and potentially like shut down your kidneys and stuff. So like obviously that's a bad idea. But the steroid that they gave me did not do anything. If anything, I felt worse afterwards. So then I stopped taking one of my medications on purpose because I was like, well, if there's a shot that helps with migraines that I can't have because of this medication, maybe if I don't take it for a few days, then I could have the shot that helps with migraine and it would go away, and then I can take my medication again. So that was my plan. It kind of worked because that was 4 days later, I went back to urgent care and basically said that. I was like, listen, I still feel terrible. It's actually getting worse. Has being off of that medication for 4 days been long enough? And so they talked about it or whatever and decided to give me the migraine cocktail, which is actually 3 different shots. And I really genuinely super appreciate the people at this urgent care, especially who I saw yesterday. She's just so kind and thorough and caring. It just didn't work. So it did. 2 of the medications are put you to sleep. So I did sleep for pretty much most of yesterday. I woke up for a couple hours and then I went back to bed for all night. But I woke up again today and it's just still here. So as I said, we're on 2.5 weeks at this point. I don't actually know why I'm telling you guys all of this. Oh, that's right. The reason I'm telling you is because I feel like I'm going to have pretty bad RBF as I do this film. Like I'm gonna film this video. Because it's making me very squinty and my head hurts really bad, my eyes hurt really bad, just everything. So I did still want to come on here and talk to you guys because I'm actually excited about what I want to come on here and talk about. It's just that I also feel like garbage. So please keep that in consideration as you watch the rest of this video. Cool. So what I wanted to come on here and talk about is that in the US last week, Lush launched their gourmand half of the Halloween range. So a couple of weeks ago, they launched the Halloween range, and there were some bath bombs and bubble bars and like a couple things. But then there was a second half of the launch that they labeled as the gourmand launch. And it had 2 body sprays, 2 shower gels, different bath bombs and bubble bars, just like different things. But I was really excited about the gourmand launch because, as you guys know, if you've been watching me, I only found / got into Lush back in like April-ish. So I have not been through a Halloween with them. And their fall launch and their Christmas launch are like the 2 biggest ones usually of the year that like everybody, if you're a Lushie, you're very excited about the fall launch and the Christmas launch. And I have obviously not experienced either before, so I was excited. Also, apparently last year they came out with a pumpkin spice, I think it might have just been a pumpkin spice spray, not pumpkin spice latte, but regardless, apparently it was terrible. And so this year they came out with a cinnamon spice latte instead. And so that was one of the 2 in the gourmand launch. It was Lord of Misrule, which is been around forever and very popular and famous. And then it was the cinnamon spice latte. And so it was this big to-do of, did they fix last year's mistake? So since the pumpkin spice whatever from last year was so terrible, and the reformulating it and renaming it to cinnamon spice latte, did they fix it this year? Look at Missy Snap. She's right down here. So I was freaking curious because I want a gourmand cinnamon spice latte, right? Short story, no. They did not fix it. You guys, it is so bad. I went the other day, and upon first sniff of the, like, squeezing the shower gel up, I was like, okay, definitely heavy on the latte. Definitely coffee. But then I was like, so this actually isn't bad. So I sniff the shower gel, but then I make a beeline over to the body spray because that's what I was most interested in. And I sprayed the body spray on a tester strip, and oh my Lord, immediately no. Immediately 0 out of 10. Do not recommend. It's a no for me, dog. Randy Jackson. Like, I don't know what else to tell you. It's straight cigarette smoke. There was nothing else in that spray aside from cigarette smoke. And thankfully I was there. I was alone. I was the only person in the store. I got there like right when they opened. And so I had 2 of my little friends that I was talking to that are the Lush employees at that store, the sales associates. And so I was glad that they were there because sometimes I'm there and it's not my friends. And then it's like, I mean, you guys, the rest of them are fine, but I like my friends. So I was like, this is straight up cigarette smoke. And then they came over and smelled it. And the one was like, oh my gosh, this is terrible. And the other one was like, my mom's a heavy smoker and this actually does smell like her. And I'm like, right. Like, it was so bad. And here's the deal. This is not a condemnation on smoking or the smell of cigarette smoke or whatever. This is really weird of me to say, but I actually like the smell of people's hands after they have smoked, because to me it's a very different smell, and maybe that's just nostalgic because of friends that I used to hang out with or whatever, but like the actual cigarette smoke smells like one thing, but the way that the oils at the base of the cigarette make your oils on your finger smell is like a little bit sweeter. So it's like a sweeter tobacco smell, and I actually really like that. One time I was getting my makeup done and I asked the artist if he was a smoker, and he was like, oh my gosh, yes, how could you tell? And I just told him that it was because of the way that his hand smelled as he was, doing the makeup brush over my face. And he was embarrassed, but I actually told him that I loved it. Like, I just love that smell. So this is not an indictment on cigarettes or anything like that. But I don't want a body spray that smells like cigarette smoke. Typically, when people smoke, they use body spray to cover that smell, right? So I feel like we just went the wrong direction here, and I was not a fan, like, at all. Like, I couldn't even pretend. And hello, migraine. I don't feel like that would be good for my head. I don't know. It wigged me out to an extreme. So then I go back to the body wash, which is across the store. And I was like, does this smell like that? And at first, once again, when I'm just smelling the tip of the shower gel bottle, I'm like, it doesn't smell the same. I smell some coffee. It still smells bad. Like, it was not good, but I could smell some coffee. So I took it to the sink to wash my hands. And just, it was bad. As soon as, like, I poured it a little bit into my hand and I started washing it, and I was like, okay, and now I get the cigarette smoke. So there's like a start hint of coffee, and then it just turns into cigarette smoke. And I'm like, what did they do? Like, I genuinely do not understand. So I had gone in expecting to spend, oh, this is what happened. So I added one of everything into my cart that morning on Lush to see what it would cost to get one of each item. What am I trying to say? So if I had not been able to go to a Lush store, and if I had to order everything online, one of every item to be delivered to me so that I could smell them, it would have been over $160. I don't remember exactly what it was, but I know that it was over $160. I walked out of there and I spent 14. And let me show you what I got. Hold on, because I forgot to get it. Isn't she just most precious? You guys. Here in a couple months, she's gonna be 12, and she's a lot of my life. And she's missing her front leg, and her arthritis is kicking in. And she's just old. And I'm gonna need a lot of bereavement time when the eventual day comes. But I love her so much, and she's very clingy, and I can't get mad, because if she wants to spend every remaining moment with me, then I will spend every remaining moment with her. Once again, that's neither here nor there. The thing that I walked out with the other day was the Autumn Leaves gift set. And this has a little thingy of what's inside. And I don't remember which one is which. Let's see if it tells, yeah, it opens up and tells you. So there's a hawthorn leaf, which is green. And I like that they stamped Lush in the back of it. And this, it's a little baby one. Like, look at how small this bath bomb is. Which makes me want to get a second set of these so that I can use 2 at a time to have a really strong bath. But listen, maybe I don't need it. Maybe these are good and strong by itself. But this is the So White smell. I also think it's the same as Once Upon a Time. But it's a nice, crisp, fresh apple smell, and I love it. I've never had anything in this scent before, but I have heard of it repeatedly, and so I was very excited to find out the scents that were in this because I've never had these before, so I'm excited about all of them. So the hawthorn leaf is the So White smell, and then you have the, hold on, I don't want to, it like barely fits. Then you have the oak leaf, which is orange, also has Lush on the back. And this one is Cinders smell. And so I don't actually know what goes into Cinders. There's definitely cinnamon. It's like a sweet, spicy cinnamon. There might be some apple in it too. Or it's just the fact that it was sitting next to the So White that there's a little bit of apple on it. So I'm getting some apple cinnamon vibes, but it's very good. I think Cinders is a really popular fragrance that they have in general, but I think it's always been limited edition. And then we have the maple leaf, which I was very excited to try. Also has Lush on the back. Because it's golden pear scented, and as a new Lushie, I've not been here to be able to smell golden pear before. And I don't know how I feel about it. I like it. I like all 3 of these. I would purchase these again, and I would purchase them probably in different products, like if they had soaps or shower gels or perfumes or lotions or whatever. This one is more complex for me. The other 2, like my brain can place right away and I like them. This one I like and it's more complex. But I really like, I don't want to make it crumbly, all 3 of these. So it came in this cute little container. And yeah, that's what I walked out with. So because I have the luxury of living by within easy driving distance of a Lush store, I got to not spend over $160 to smell one of everything when turns out I did not like one of everything. There was also, I can't forget, the pumpkin scrubby. So scrubby is, like the original scrubby is Honey, I Washed the Kids scented, and everybody loves it. And they do like seasonal ones. So I don't remember because I wasn't here, but they did like a Valentine's Day, like Love Humbug or something like that. And I want to say it was like chocolate cherry scented, but I could be making that up. So like they do different seasonal ones or whatever. And this one is in the shape of a pumpkin, and it's a pumpkin scrubby. And I knew that it smelled different than the cinnamon spice latte. So I was like, all right, well, since it's different, maybe it's better. It's definitely not cigarette smoke. I will give you that. It is not cigarette smoke. It's just pumpkin innards, possibly that have sat out for too long. So like it smells like you cut the top off of a pumpkin and scooped out the insides of it. And once again, maybe scooped them out in a 90+ degree day. And it's just like a hot, savory pumpkin smell. I don't want to smell like that. I just don't. Sorry about that. So, cinnamon spice latte, no. Both body spray and shower gel, absolutely not. Pumpkin scrubby, no, absolutely not. One of my friendly sales associates, we even went to like wet it at the sink, the pumpkin scrubby, and try and put it on that way, and it was atrocious. So then because my hands smelled bad because of that, I was like, enter Lord of Misrule. Because once again, that is a cult product, cult favorite, whatever you want to say. People wait all year for Lord of Misrule to be launched again because they don't have it all year. And do they even always have it every year? I don't know. I think they might. I think it might be in every Halloween staple. But people like really stock up because they know that it's not going to be here again until next year, if that. So when I was in the store, I could kind of smell it. It was very soft, very faint. I was surprised that for such a like viral cult fave product, it had such a small smell, if that makes sense. I have heard and personally can confirm that each product like smells slightly different. So the bath bomb I could barely smell the bath bomb, but it was kind of sweet. The bubble bar, once again, couldn't smell a ton, but it smelled very patchouli forward. And I am not typically a patchouli fan. So I was like, not for me. I sprayed the body spray and I felt like it was also very patchouli forward, but I did not spray it on my skin. I just sprayed it on the tester. But I also sprayed it on the tester after I sprayed the cigarette smoke cinnamon spice. So that might have been a bad, like that, maybe that doesn't count. Because it was overall not good in that region where I was standing at that time, you know? So then I was like, okay, well now I've got pumpkin scrubby on my hand and it's gross. So let me use the Lord of Misrule shower gel to wash my hands with afterwards. And it was fine, but it was just fine. So like I had a very strong visceral reaction of dislike to the pumpkin scents, the pumpkin scrubby and the cinnamon spice latte, which is like pumpkin spice latte. Lord of Misrule, I just went confusion. It was not bad. I did not hate it, but I didn't love it, and I just didn't get it. It was very faint, and I just didn't get it. So I was like, I am very surprised at how popular this is. So that's why, where to go? We went home with only these bad boys, which I do love. Clearly haven't used yet because I wanted to show you guys, but I just like sniffing them. Okay. So then it might have been only a day or two. I started really having the FOMO. And I was like, I'm going to give Lord of Misrule the good college try because everybody and their brother is losing their minds about it. I'm on the Discord and the Reddit, the Discord server and the subreddit. Now there's also a bunch of controversy that Lord of Misrule is different this year. So the TLDR about that is that if you compare ingredients this year to ingredients of previous years, they are different. But customer service and quite a few other people are saying that the EU changed some of its regulations according to fragrances and what you're allowed to put. So basically, I think that what is happening is typically on the back of fragrance, it's allowed to be like ingredient, fragrance, ingredient. And so like fragrance is its own ingredient. And that way, like they don't give you their secret sauce or whatever. And I guess the things that are allowed to be hidden under fragrance are different now. And so this year's shows like lemon, jasmine, and bergamot or something like that has not been on there before. So people are like, it smells a lot sweeter and it has these 3 additional ingredients. They've ruined the formula. Whereas customer service and once again, some other people in the subreddit are like, no, the lemon, jasmine, and bergamot. I think those are the three. I don't remember. But the additional ingredients that you see now, those had been hidden under the fragrance label and they're not allowed to be anymore. So they had to list those specifically. And also it still says fragrance. So Lush is, what is the word? I was going to say die hard, but that's not what I'm looking for. Adamant. Lush is adamant that they have not changed the Lord of Misrule formula since 2021. The subreddit and Discord peeps are adamant that they're lying and that it is different. So as a new Lushy circa 2026 that has not smelled or been a fan of Lush or Lord of Misrule before, I cannot tell you if it is different or the same. I simply can't. I do not know. But regardless, I was still feeling the FOMO of not being able to enjoy it. And when Finley and I forget who was on there with him did the live about the Lush Gourmand fall range and everything, that it was going to come out, they talked about how they wished that they could be a new Lushy and experience Lord of Misrule for the first time all over again. How it's kind of like reading your favorite book for the first time or watching your favorite movie for the first time or whatever. So I was like, dang blasted, I want to like this thing. So once again, this is maybe 1 or 2 days later, and I go back to Lush and I purchase the bath bomb. This is the coveted Lord of Misrule bath bomb. And I'm obsessed, okay? I get it. I'm sorry that I ever doubted you. I couldn't really smell you in store. I can smell you now. So I used, I don't think this is right. Yeah. I used that and please hold, half of my Lord of Misrule bubble bar. You guys, I had not known what you were supposed to do with these. I knew that as the bubble bar, you're supposed to crumble it up and put it in the water, and by crumbling it, it helps bubble. I thought you were supposed to crumble up this entire bar, which obviously there's another half to it, right? And use it for a bath. But I just thought this looks pretty big and I'm just gonna do half. So I did do half, and it was the bubbliest bubble bath you have ever seen in your entire life. It might have actually had too many bubbles by the time that I got in the water. It was a Merlot looking color. It's fantastic. I then, after the bubbles were there, put in the bath bomb, and it has, I did not know this. Did I just not pay attention during the video? I don't know. It had popping candy in it. So now I have the bubbliest bubbles and I have popping candy going, and this has a lot of color and a lot of bath art by itself, and this already had color. You guys, I genuinely believe that this is the best bath I've ever had to date. It was fantastic. It was magical. Dare I say, life-changing, okay? Now, after that, I did make a post on Reddit about my experience. Because why wouldn't I? And I mentioned that I had used half of this little guy. Bro, you're apparently not supposed to, okay? So these, it sounds like the majority of people cut into 4s and they get 4 baths out of 1 bubble bar. Some people get 8 to 10 baths out of 1 bubble bar. I don't think I'm gonna be the 8 to 10 bath person because I am a maximalist by nature. So I'm gonna do the most. I don't think I could ever in good conscience use 1 of these at a time because, oh my gosh, I don't think I need a swimming pool for that. Like, my bathtub is not big enough for this. I could maybe break it up into 3 or 4. But some people are saying that if you split it up into more than 3, you can't smell it very strongly. And the entire purpose that I take baths is to smell it and experience the sensory nature of it and enjoy it, right? So I might just stick to halves. I might try 1/3 or 1/4. We'll see. No promises. But I freaking loved it so much. And then what really shocked me, because I've taken several a bath at this point in my life, at this point in the year, what are we talking about? What shocked me is how much I smelled like these two products when I got out of the bath. You would have thought that I had put on lotion. You would have thought that I had purchased the body spray. Like, I smelled like this for the remainder of the evening, and it was fantastic. So, what is one to do after that? After they've experienced the best bath of their life and now are forever changed, right? What is one to do? Do they go out and get another bath bomb? Obviously. But do they also go out and get the gift box? Yes. Yes, they do. So let me close this so you can have the full effect. But you guys, the Lord of Misrule gift box is a vibe. It is a millennial dream with the checkers, okay? It's 90s everything. And it has 4 things in it. It has the bath bomb. It has another full bubble bar, which is everything. I love this one, actually. I love the design on it because they're all different. It has a tiny baby body spray. And it has the shower gel. And I have been converted. So, I was at Lush, as I told you guys. Couldn't smell it in store. It was fine. I didn't get it. Day or two later, I go back and get my first bath bomb and bubble bar. I have the most life-changing experience of my life. The next day, I go back and get the gift set that I just showed you and the Lord of Misrule solid perfume, because I know that I want to layer the body spray over something, and I don't have anything in my current collection appropriate to layer this over. And the Lord of Misrule solid perfume is green. If you can see the shimmers on there, it does not come shimmery. I put this on after I had put on the shimmy shimmy bar, and so it got sparkle on it, obviously. But I love this. And then, right, day or two later, I'm like, you know what? YOLO, because this little guy is going to last me approximately 2 more days because it's tiny. And the actual fragrance perfume of it is more patchouli forward, but it dries down still to the sweet vanilla that I like. So then I had to go back, but I kept myself good this time. I just got the little baby one. Lush does not have baby 10 ounces or whatever, 1 fluid ounce. What is this? 10 milliliters? It's 10 milliliters, 0.3 fluid ounces. They do not have this size in most of their perfumes, but I knew that this was a fragrance that they actually do carry this baby size in. And so I was like, let me be good since I've spent so much money over the last couple days. And I still want to try the perfume, but they give me a tester option. So let me do the tester. And then with that, I also came home with, I'm spilling things, the full Mama Jamma of the Lord of Misrule. Okay. So I get it. I've been converted. I don't know what to tell you. I apologize for questioning. My life has been forever changed. Can I be any more dramatic about this? But I also want to put you onto something. So what I got, I had a sample of the Magic Crystals, and I used this body scrub in my first ever Lord of Misrule bath, and that combination was perfect. So I went back and I got another tub, and I actually skipped the small tub. What I have been doing is, even if I've had a sample of something and I like it, when I purchase it, I purchase the smallest version that Lush has because I want to make sure that I actually really like it before I go to the big one. But for me, I go through the scrubs so quickly, and I do not currently have a different scrub, so I decided to just get the big scrub. And this is just a nice little minty, sweet Magic Crystal scrub. It's a different consistency than the rest of them. It's liquidy like the other salt scrubs, but it's creamy liquidy. It's interesting. So went ahead and got that. And I had points, and so with my points, I was able to get the Let the Good Times Roll gift set. I also understand this now. I had smelled it before. I had only smelled the body spray because this is what's sold year round. but the big version, not the little version. I had only smelled the body spray. I had only smelled it in store, and I had not put it on my skin. So by not having it on my skin to be able to smell outside the store afterwards, I just couldn't really smell it because there's so many other smells in store that were taking over. So once I got this home, I said, oh my Lord, I'm obsessed. I'm absolutely obsessed. So this, it's supposed to smell like popcorn, like caramel popcorn, like sweet caramel popcorn. To me, it smells very marshmallowy, and it smells like a gourmand lover's dream, and I'm obsessed. So that being said, I thought to myself, could they go together? And they can. You guys, it's actually pretty good. So I love how the Lord of Misrule dries down, because it dries down very vanilla forward, but it starts very patchouli forward. So I just sprayed a couple spritz of this on top of this. Woo! It's a maze. It is a maze. Try it for yourselves. Thank me later. Have a good day. Oh, but also look at the size difference. So these were both body sprays that came in gift sets, and this one could have given birth to this one. Like, this is so much smaller. And I don't know why they do that, because the Super Milk one is also tiny like this, and the Let the Good Times Roll, and I think Sticky Dates are both big like this. So I think the more popular ones, they just give you small, and it's probably because they know that you're going to do exactly what I did and go out and get the big Mama Jama. So it worked. But this one fits much more easily, much better in my purse. So thanks for that. So anyways, that's what I want to talk to you guys about. I do have very strong feelings now about the Halloween launch and the gourmand launch, and I wanted to share them with you. And I'm very curious, because scent is so subjective, what you think. Have you smelled them? Did you love them? Did you hate them? Help a sister out. Let me know.